Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the pregame show, Lions, Vikings. I am your host, Tyler. Join my main guy, as always, Mr. Malcolm. How we doing, my man?
Got to get some light up in here. I'm doing great, man. Let's go. Oh, wait. Let me start shit over. Woo! What's going on, man? Yo, I'm doing great, man. What's going on, man?
Is that the first time you forgot your woo?
You know what? The light threw me off because like just now it was kind of dark, so I was like, let me hit the light. Let there be light. So I hit the light button, and that threw me off. So yeah, man. Merry Christmas Eve, bro. Merry Christmas.
All right. Well, we're a little late, but you know what? It is okay. This is a huge game for the Lions, as you guys all know. They have an opportunity to clinch the division for the first time in franchise history. The NFC North, I should say, for the first time in franchise history. They've clinched the division before, but the last time they've done that was in 1993, and it was called the NFC Central at the time. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were in that division at that time.
Yep, I remember.
I remember. A lot has changed. A big game, big opportunity for the Lions to get that done today at 1 o'clock. Let's get into these inactives, and then we'll talk about some keys to victory on both sides of the ball. So I'll start off with the Vikings, and I'll have Malcolm read the Lions ones afterwards. So for the Vikings side, you got safety Lewis Seen. You got cornerback Byron Murphy Jr. You got quarterback Josh Dobbs. You got tight end Nick Muse. You got guard Chris Reed. You got tackle Brian O'Neill, which is significant. That is their starting right tackle. And Byron Murphy is their starting corner. I should have mentioned that earlier. And then they got wide receiver Jalen Naylor. So Vikings got some key guys on this injury report. What's the Lions injury report looking like?
Europe. So the Lions injury report, we have linebacker Derek Barnes. It's kind of big. He is inactive. Cornerback Stephen Gilmore. That brother cannot find the field at all. He is inactive. Wide receiver Antoine Green. He is inactive. Quarterback Hendon Hooker. He is an emergency quarterback. So it looks like he's going to dress, but he is inactive. Cornerback, fan favorite, Jerry Jacobs. He's inactive. Defensive lineman Broderick Martin is inactive. And tight end Brock Wright is inactive. Yep.
Fan favorite, Jerry Jacobs. Yeah.
He's a fan favorite, man. I'm just saying that so I won't get blocked.
He might be listening. He's not playing today, so he can have some extra time.
No, you say the wrong thing, man. He's quick. He's quick with it. He already got caught.
I've heard. No Bruce Irvin in this game. Not an injury related. They just did not elevate him. They elevated tight end Anthony Frisker from the practice squad, and they elevated obviously kicker Michael Badgley. So they needed a kicker. So and you can only have 2 elevations on a weekly basis. So I guess the Lions valued having an extra tight end with Brock Wright being out more than Bruce Irvin. So Charles Harris back in the lineup today. So we'll see how that works.
I just realized that Charles Harris is back in the lineup.
I mean, I don't know how many snaps he gets.
You better do something, goddamn it, because man, wow.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see what happens. I think Irvin's got like one more elevation until they would have to put him on the 53-man roster if they want to keep playing him. So, decision making is the roster's gonna be changed up in a little bit because they got Gardner Johnson coming back soon. Aleem potentially could be coming back soon. Houston could potentially be coming back soon. You got to put Irvin on the 53. There's a lot of roster construction that could be happening very soon. But Badgley too, I'd even factor in. We don't have a kicker on a 53-man roster right now. So a lot of adjustments on this roster could definitely be made very, very soon. All right, yes, let's LFG, baby. LFG, let's go. Huge game. Let's talk about this Lions offense now against this Vikings defense. Hey, I saw your tweet today. There's a narrative going around. There's a narrative that Goff doesn't know how to beat Brian Flores' defenses. I believe he's 0-3 when he's played a Brian Flores defense. Now, granted, that has never been in a Lions uniform. That is in just Jared Goff's career. But here, talk to me. Are you scared of this narrative coming to true this Sunday, or is it all baloney?
This whole shit's pissing me the hell off. It is just pissing me off. It's like I think people just look too deep into a situation, and they look too deep, and then they want to go and talk about it. When Brian Flores played Jared Goff was on the Rams. This is a whole different situation. I think his offensive line situation is different. I think the coordinator situation is different. I think everything's different. I think the bigger narrative that people should be talking about is that when Brian Flores got that Dolphins job, who was the first person he fired when he got there?
Yeah. Ben Johnson was one of the first guys he fired, yeah.
It was Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was the first person he fired as soon as he got there. So to me, when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at this more as a Ben Johnson, I'm gonna get my revenge game on your ass game. This is the what I'm looking at. I think the whole he golfed through 2 picks and he fumbled against Bland front. That's baloney, man. This is a different team, different everything, man. I think golf goes as far as offensive line. If the offensive line keeps golf clean, that's what's gonna happen. Golf is gonna be clean, and he's gonna have a clean game. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing as a Lions fan, if you're looking to key on like how this offense could be, is look at the injury report. And you're looking at this injury report right now. That's an active report. You don't see an offensive lineman on that list. All starting 5 are going to be out there. And I agree 100%. I don't understand how that is even relevant right now because we're talking about matchups of the Rams versus the Dolphins, Rams versus the Patriots. In what way does it have to do with the Lions versus the Vikings in 2023?
I don't know. I think people think he's the same golf and it's the same thing. You just pressure him and then yada yada yada. Yo, he has an offensive line now. He has. I think, like I told everybody before he even came to Detroit. Not before he came to Detroit, but as far as when Ben Johnson took over this offense, that Ben Johnson, his offense is more golf friendly than McVay's was with golf. So I think right now, golf is playing a better football under Ben Johnson than he was with McVay. I mean, we just see the stretches of the games he had with McVay that just didn't work out, and ultimately led him to get traded. But I think Ben Johnson's offense is a little bit more golf friendly. So I think this different system, man. I'm not even worried about it, man. Just keep golf clean, and he's gonna do what he has to do, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's rocket science either to say that Goff's playing the best football of his career right now. Like, that's not rocket science whatsoever to say since Goff has arrived to Detroit and over the last, presumably for the most part, the last 2 seasons, including this year, including last year, he's playing the best ball of his career. Obviously, there's going to be some shakeups here and there, but for the most part, he's playing the best football in his career. And I don't know. I just don't put that narrative as a factor right now. Now, I respect Brian Flores and what he's doing with that defense. That's not a joke of a defense. They are a very good defense. They have some dogs on that defense like Danielle Hunter, who's like very sneakily could be in the defensive player of the talk. He won't win it, but like he's been very, very good. And they got a reinforcement coming back today and Jordan Hicks in a linebacker room. So like I respect the Vikings defense, but the narrative of Goff can't beating a Brian Flores defense because of the pass, I think is a bunch of baloney.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit, man. I don't care if this was the 2001 Baltimore Ravens defense. I don't care if this was the still current defense of the goddamn Pittsburgh. I don't care. Their quarterback is Nick Mullins, man. Their quarterback is Nick fucking Mullins. There's just no way I would accept defeat to Nick Mullins. I just can't do it. Right now, he's probably, if he starting quarterback, probably the worst right now as far as all starting quarterbs.
I mean, there's a lot of bad ones out there right now.
I mean, if you want to go blow for blow between him and Desmond Ridder,
Easton Stick is a starter as well right now.
Easton Stick, I mean, that's the same level. They're the same level. They're the same level. You cannot lose to Nick Mullins. I don't care. At all costs, you cannot lose to Nick Mullins. I mean, if we lose to Nick Mullins, there's going to be a lot of questions about this goddamn team if we lose to Nick Mullins.
Yeah, I mean, I for the most part, I agree. I mean, you already skipped to the defensive part of that, and I agree. The defense is playing better, right? Like I think they've put a good stretch of games out there. I know it's not necessarily showed for the most part outside the Broncos game, but we've talked about it. Like I think the offense has been kind of holding this team back more than the defense, and this is a big opportunity. I mean, like this is not a world-beating offense you're playing. Like now they have some very good skill players like Justin Jefferson. They got Jordan Addison. They got T.J. Hawkinson, but they're missing their right tackle. You are healthy defensively, and you are versus Nick Mullins, who is not a mobile threat. For I know Lions fans are scared of the mobile quarterback, and it's fair. Who is not a mobile threat. I agree, man. Like there should not be a factor where Nick Mullins is dicing your defense up. That is inexcusable if that is the case today.
If let it happen. I will call Island Park tonight. I will call them. I'll call headquarters. I don't want some answers. That would be unacceptable. There's no way. Nick Mullins?
Yeah, I mean they got to take care of business. They did a great job last week. I think they came in with a great game plan versus the Broncos. I think for the most part they came in with a great game plan 2 weeks ago when they played the Bears. Like I think they've come in with some great game plans, and I'm expecting that today. Like I know that the Vikings have some real threats, and this is one of the better, offensive skill position players like we've played this year with Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson and all those guys that got there. But at the end of the day, man, you got to find a way to generate some pressure like you did last week. Be creative with those exotic blitzes or the stunts. Like, they were doing some creative things last week. And I want to see them do the same thing this week versus the Vikings and confuse Nick Mullins because they did a very good job of confusing the Broncos and Russell Wilson. I want to see that again this Sunday versus the Vikings and just confuse them and, let them cause some turnovers. I mean, Nick Mullins is definitely prone to have a bad turnover or two in this game. If Goff could play clean and your defense could do a good enough job, I don't see an excuse why you don't win this football game.
I don't care if Goff is having the worst game of his life. I don't care. I don't care. They still better win this goddamn game. I don't care if the defense has to carry this whole damn offense and we see another game that's 3-0. I do not care. There's no way, shape, or form that they should lose to Nick Mullins. There is no excuse. I don't care if they have the ball on the 1 yard line every single play. We cannot lose to Nick Mullins.
I like it. We got to break the Christmas Eve narrative. We've talked about the last 2 times the Lions played on Christmas Eve. They've been complete duds. The Panthers game last year, 2017 versus the Bengals. But that is in the past. They break the narrative today. This is why they come to the brand new Lions today. You beat the Vikings on Christmas Eve. You break that narrative. I told you this, Malcolm. I went back and watched the 2011 game versus the Chargers on Christmas Eve just so I can get that good karma back and not have to think about those previous 2 matchups.
And you didn't know, you never originally saw that. Like, you didn't see that originally, did you? Like,
no, I did. I just was young. I was 10.
Okay.
But I watched it, yes.
He said he was 10.
I was 10, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I actually remember that day very vividly. I remember I had to go Christmas shopping the day before in the morning. And then I told my mom I want to watch the Lions that day. So, because I know they had an opportunity to clinch the playoffs. So it was a big day. It's actually my favorite Christmas memory. If that sounds sad or pathetic, that is my favorite Christmas memory of all time.
Wow. And the thing, you remember that. You remember that whole moment. I completely forgot about that.
I remember the whole moment, man.
Completely forgot about that game.
It's a great game, man. Great game. Great moment. It was a great day. And I hope today could be something that we talk about in, however many years after. Like if they win today, this is going to be a game like, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be talking about this game for the rest of my life if they win today. It's that big of a moment.
It's history. I mean, they clinched in the playoffs. I mean, this is something that they haven't done before, right? They haven't clinched
in the NFC North.
They clinched in the NFC North.
Yes.
They haven't done that before. Let's flip this whole shit around. You don't want to be negative, but let's flip it around. Play the what if. What if the Lions screwed this shit up? What if
Christmas is canceled?
Christmas is canceled.
Nothing. I'm not showing up. No gifts. Nothing.
You taking all that shit back?
Returning it. Everything.
Returning it.
Nothing, dude. It's canceled. They cannot lose today, dude. They can't lose, man. Shit. There's too much on the line today to lose. God, they can lose next week. If they lose next week, they lose next week. They lose week 18, they lose week 18. But they cannot lose today. They can't lose today on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. They can't.
I just don't want them to take steps backwards, man. I think last week we saw a really good football team. We saw really great offense, really great defense, really good team. And you want this team to take steps forward so they could head to the playoffs in the right way, so they could be hot heading into the playoffs. You don't want to have a good game, follow that good game with a mediocre game, a bad game, and lose, and then potentially go 2 in a row, lose 2 in a row, and then head to the playoffs going one of your last 3 games. You don't want to do that. You don't want to head to the playoffs in a situation like that. So I think this game's important. If it happens, shit. Like I said, I'm gonna have a lot of questions. It's fucking Nick Mullins. I mean, that says it all. I mean, having him as a quarterback, if we lose to him, I think that says it all. I mean, where are we going? Where is this team going? As far as is this team just going to the playoffs just to go there, or are we gonna go there to try to win games, or what? But you cannot lose to Nick Mullins.
Right.
That is.
And for me, the way I'm approaching this is early in the year, I would say the Raiders game and all the games early in the year, right? And even all the way probably up to the first Bears matchup, even the Saints game, I would say, right? You're looking for some style points in those games. Sometimes you want to see the Lions make a statement, right?
Yeah.
For me, this late into the season, you're playing a division rival, you're on the road. Frankly, I don't give a shit how you win this game. Any way you win this game, I think is an impressive way. If it is 2-0 and that is the final result, you'll take it. Like, I'm not looking for any style points. All I'm looking for at the end of the day is just the Lions to win this game, and I will be completely content and happy. I don't need a performance like last week where they absolutely killed the Broncos. Now, would that be great? Would that be nice? Absolutely. But if they win this game in the most ugly fashion ever, I don't give a shit. Just win this football game. That's all I care about today.
And then we clinch. But I mean, this is the way I look at it, man. We are, I mean, both sides. I think both sides of the ball are probably the better team. I think we are the better team. Both sides of the ball. I think that's just what we are right now. I think we have a better running game. Yeah, the receivers are, more talented, I would say, because they have some talent there, and they have a good tight end. But I think we have the same thing. And then you talk about offensive line. I think our offensive line is better. I think our quarterback situation is better. I think our defense is. I mean, I don't know about our defense.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah,
I wouldn't say that. But you know what? I would say that the pieces are better. I would say the pieces are better. I just think they just scheme things up way better. That's just what they do. But if we lose this game, I think it's clearly it will be a situation that we've been out coach. I would have to say because I just think we're a better football team.
Yeah, and I think last year, like, they did a very good job versus the Vikings. The first one, I felt like they kind of got outcoached at the end in the first matchup in mini, but the way that they responded that second game back at Ford Field, that was a convincing win. If they could do something like that today in Minnesota, that would be amazing for everyone, for the fan base and everyone, and team confidence and everything.
That would be amazing, man. I think they have a shot. I think they could do it, man. It all depends on the offensive line and what they do. If the offensive line do their job, I think everything else is going to fall in place. And I want to see our defense play like they played last week, man, or even better. If they could find a way to even improve off that, that would be a plus. But just play the same way they played last week. If we play like that, I don't think I can see us beating almost anybody. We play the same way we played last week.
Absolutely. I mean, if you play like the way like you played last week versus Denver, and now that's not an expectation every single week, but like if they could play that style of football, I mean, that's the scary team that everyone was thinking before the season, like where people had us in the big boy conversation, and it kind of faded away recently. But like if they continue to play like that, you will regain all that confidence from your fan base and the national media, where they'll put you back in that big boy conversation, where they'll look at you as true NFC contenders. So, you got 3 games, you got 2 versus the Vikings, 1 versus Dallas. This starting today, you have an opportunity to go continue to make a statement off what you built off last week.
Yeah, and I've been saying, I'm looking ahead. I've been saying for weeks that I'm giving us no shot against Dallas, but they follow up that performance as last week, and we see the same shit this week. I'll be a little bit more optimistic about next week. A lot more optimistic about next week because, again, man, the way they played, man, I just hope, man. I hope
100%. All right, let's do our Lions picks, and then we'll get into our locks of the week. So, record-wise for Lions picks, so we have Pierre and Malcolm tied at first place with a 9-5 record, and then what are you doing? A Rob Van Dam? RVD?
Mal Van Dam, goddammit.
And then I'm in second or last, I guess, with the 8-6 record. So 1 game behind. Lions, when I last checked, were 3-point favorites. Let me see if that line has changed. Either way, we're going to roll with the 3-point favorites. So, Malcolm, I'll start off with you. You're in first place. What are you feeling today?
I mean, you know what? I really feel like they need to follow up that performance that we seen last week. And I think they need to build off that. And just so they can get into the playoffs in the hot way where they can show everybody that, look, they're here to contend. And I really believe they're going to do that. If not, I mean, shit, whatever. But I have us winning big. And when I say big, I mean like 35-17 big.
Wow. Yeah. So kind of like last week then. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have the offense playing good and I have the defense playing good. Big. And that's simply because I think offensive line is going to be able to protect Goff, man.
I hope, man. That would be a freaking amazing gift. Amazing gift.
Yeah.
Pierre's going 28-13. He's kind of on the same boat as you. And his bold prediction is Aiden Hutchinson will finally have a 2-sack game.
Shit, right. I didn't get my bold. I'm gonna have a bold. I can't go J-Bone because I mean that's not really going to be bold anymore because he's been getting his targets.
Oh, you can do it. Just go for it.
Just go for it.
He hasn't done it still. I mean, he's getting targets, but he's still.
Jamison Williams will have 6 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns. God damn it!
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's
bold. That's bold, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's very
It
close.
hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it hasn't happened. It hasn't really got even close to it, honestly. I mean, last week was probably the closest, but it wasn't even that close.
Shit. Yeah.
All right. I think the Lions will win. I think the Lions will cover. I think the game is gonna be a little more grittier than you guys are imagining. I'm gonna go 20-16 Lions. I pulled that score from last year when they played the Packers on Week 18 on Sunday Night Football. I pulled that same exact score. I'm like, what was the score in that game? I'm like, I think it's gonna be that score. So 2016 Lions
with Nick Mullins.
With Nick Mullins, yes.
Fuck shit, man.
I mean, 16 points is not that much. It's more of like I'm giving more respect to Brian Flores' defense than anything.
More respect to Brian Flores. Forget him. I think like I told you, man, Ben Johnson gonna have something for his ass today.
I hope
he gonna show him why you should never fire me, buddy.
I can see the Lions having a good offensive day too, but I don't know, man. These division games are always just they're tough to predict, dude. You don't know what to expect. I mean, they're always tough. Obviously, there's both like it's huge for both teams in the Lions. I mean, the Lions have an opportunity to clinch the NFC North the first time ever, and you have the Minnesota Vikings who are obviously fighting for their playoff hopes right now, and still technically fighting for division hopes right now. So a lot on the line for both of these teams. So it's gonna be a fun one, man. Well, I'm saying that now. It's gonna be a fun one. If they lose this fucking game, it won't be fun.
If the Vikings win, they pretty much control their own destiny, pretty much.
No, they still need the Lions to lose to Dallas.
They pretty much control their own destiny.
I mean, sure, yes. If we
lose Nick Mullins, we're definitely losing Dak Prescott in Houston, in Dallas. That's just gonna happen.
Well, then, yeah. If that's how you think, then yes. But technically, yes, the Lions would have to lose to Dallas for them to control their own destiny. So
I'll be pissed if that shit happens, man.
Yeah. All right. Locks of the week. Malcolm, man, you've been on a heater recently. 9-5-1, and you started off pretty slow. And you've been on a heater. I'm now in second place with 7-8. I was on a slow start too. Been a little more heating up recently. And Pierre, complete opposite. He started off 6-3. He's now 6-8-1. That is rough. Absolutely rough. We'll start off with you. Who was your lock of the week?
Man, hey, trust me, guys. No CJ Stroud today. Let's go Cleveland -3 over Houston. And that's gonna be a lock.
Okay. Well, if you guys know me, I've been going with the risky picks, and they've been working for me recently. I took Cleveland a couple weeks ago versus Baltimore. People call me crazy. I took Buffalo versus Dallas last week. People call me crazy.
I did.
I'm going with another. I don't know if this is crazy, but they're underdogs in this game. I think that.
No.
I guess it was that crazy.
It's so cold. It's so cold. It's so cold.
That's what it sounded like. The Dallas Cowboys will cover and win today. They're 1.5-point underdogs in Miami. I think they'll bounce back. People call them frauds. I still think they're a pretty good football team. I think they go in Miami and they win today. 1.5-point underdogs.
Let's go, man.
Is that on the crazy scale for you, or is that normal? Is that fine?
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay, you're not calling me crazy. Usually, I like when you call me crazy because when you call me crazy, it always works. So.
I mean, Dolphins haven't beat a team over 500 yet.
That's my thing, dude. I don't know. They got to prove it to me, and I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. They have to prove it to me this Sunday. It's a big game.
I like it. I'll bet on it.
Okay. And then Pierre, take it with a grain of salt. He's been on a cold streak. Oof. He's taken the Indianapolis Colts +3 against the Atlanta Falcons.
Bet at your own risk. God damn.
All right. Oh my, where are all these comments coming from? Where all these people come from?
We got some comments, man. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Oh, okay. I just saw. Yeah, 29 comments. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even see all this.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
420 time go live. What? Come on, guys. It's a holiday today. Do what you gotta do. All right. Hope you guys all enjoyed. We got a little less than a half hour till game time. We will see you guys on the post-game spaces. Hopefully celebrating that Lions NFC North title, baby.
or a very angry post-game show. So if something happens, the people that's on YouTube right now, head on to Twitter, look for our Twitter spaces, and we are going to vent our ass off if we lose to Nick fucking Mullins. This just can't happen. This just can't happen. I will not allow it. I won't accept this. I would not accept this L to Nick Mullins. It's just, whew.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. And we're out, guys. Peace.
All right, y'all. Your boy Malcolm, and I'm out, man. Peace.